Hello everyone, my name is Shaun Peterson, and today I'm going to be doing a video post about the Chehalis tribe's Eagles Landing hotel project that I'm currently working on in Chehalis, Washington. What we're looking at here is a 3D render created using Google SketchUp. I decided that for this job, to explain to people who are curious about it, probably the best way to do this is to do a 3D model. And I have enough experience with it, and I had enough dimensions to go on that I could do a little walkthrough and give a little bit of background about the project itself for those of you who are interested. So what we're looking at here is the hallway and the expanded corridor. This is the overall wall, 5 feet by 40 feet long. And in these panels down below are audio components, where there's a button on the silver panels next to those black speakers there on each one of those, and those have audio that play recordings in the Lashutseed language of the tribal history. What this installation is about is it takes the mythology of the tribe and breaks it into 5 epic stories. And I consulted with a specialist, Dr. J. Miller, and as well as a committee of elders for the tribe to represent these pieces. So what we're looking at here in this first panel is a swan bringing in the fog, a rainbow in the background, 4 coyotes, and the grandson of Dog, the dark canine figure on the top there. And they surround the golden hoop that they steal from a bird being. And these bird beings are kind of seen as rulers of the earth in the early parts of this mythology. Now, I'm not going to get into details of these stories too much, mainly because this is something you could write volumes about. And in fact, in my research for this project, we had a number of meetings about it, and I had a lot of reading to do. This story for the middle panel is one that we have that's very similar in Puyallup. There's the sun and moon. These are going to be backlit by LED. And this line down here represents a rope that the 2 sisters come back home from the sky world because they miss their home. They venture into the sky world to marry these star beings, but come back. So this next panel that we're going to look at here shows long-tailed duck on the left and deer on the right. In the time lapse that's also coming up, we'll see that process of me painting, but the middle, there's a changer, a transformer being that brings life forms into the world. That's going to be a glass rim that's comprised of salmon and lamprey eel, and that'll be also LED backlit. And then this final panel, this is a little bit of an older rendering, even though it's only a few days. The paddle on the left represents honoring the past, and the paddle on the right side represents the future. The canoe will actually be carved out of cedar, low relief carved with a human seated in the front facing the figure in the back that'll be pushing off with a push pole, because that's a river style canoe. And salmon underneath, of course. Those will be sandblasted into the glass sheet. So here I took some time-lapse shots. This one was done with the iPad, so the resolution's pretty low, but gives you an idea of how the layout process was. And I did a previous post also before. So here we are at the second stage of pinning the characters onto the background scenery that was done in the first video. And I stepped it up a little bit using the Canon to document the time lapse with a velometer. just to get better quality imagery. And this was pretty fun. This is these two characters are long-tailed duck and deer actually represent beings that can transform. It's at a time of the mythology when these beings can transform, and it's very complicated to try to explain how that works in the mythology, but it's really central to a lot of Puget Sound myth and belief system. And here I am masking off the rain. Now above the rain that's being painted on here, there's going to be some aluminum clouds that stand out from the wall that are going to be painted silver, or powder coated aluminum, that is. And there'll be some other elements. A couple of the characters, the bird being in the first panel here that's on the left that you saw, and that 3D render will be on the right side. And here are the two sisters standing before the rope, and you can see the cords that are sticking out from either side there. That's the power source for the LED light that's going to illuminate the sun and the moon. And here are the human figures, the seated figure up in the front and the man using the push-pull in the back. And I'm mapping that out. You can see the grid lines that I use to reference the scale, making sure that it's level and that the scale is correct. And I switched to outline on there. So I use a digital projector to lay that stuff out, and it proves pretty useful. So I mostly work at night. Part of it's for the projector contrast and not getting a lot of interruption really late, but because that whole other wall is a wall of glass and it's really bright in there, even on an overcast day, it just makes more sense to work then. So I'll be posting more videos as things progress, and thanks for checking it out.